the leaders' attention. They was not even sure that he would have been able to convince the other denominations to sit in the same room with each other. In fact, he himself wasn't sure, but he knew that our country was ripe for a move of God that would have required every believer and every leader, spiritual leader. And so it was on that premise that he spoke to them. He said, listen, because I had the privilege to be with him. I had the privilege to help organize it and to make it happen. I was responsible for the evangelization into the communities and spearheading it, making sure that all the materials that was necessary was taken out through all of the outer islands, meeting with the pastors, the evangelists, and coordinating. So I was really into the details of it. And to see pastors sit down and say, how is this going to happen? And to see my pastor say, God is going to take our differences and he is going to make our differences the uniqueness to this nation. And it was, no church had to change the way they were. No denomination had to change the way they were. It was the difference that God used to touch every aspect of the community.
Rather see it as an obstacle. It becomes the uniqueness that the Lord has used.
Right. Because our community saw that denominations that can be so different, they can be so unified. It could only be God. To their mind is what they saw.
Yes.
And that convinced them, okay, that you know something, you all love us enough to don't let you all differences stop you all from coming to us. And so we were able to find out their needs. We were able to find out, it was an awakening to the church on how much needs our people had. Because a lot of the churches didn't realize that they were not touching the community where their needs were. Okay? Because we got so accustomed to being recognized as a Christian nation that we forgot that we were supposed to touch people where their sensitive needs are. Thinking that our country is just okay because, you know, we adhere to Christian values in our constitution. But we wasn't practicing it. And it brought a new awakening that our pastors realized that, you know something, I was not being a shepherd. I was so used to having the title of pastor that I forgot to be a shepherd. And it cost a lot of pastors to return back to shepherding people's lives, going back into the community, going back to homes, instead of looking for people to come to church. That, hey, we need to now go to their homes and bring the church to them, meet them where they are. And I led a team, and I really thank God. I led a team, my wife and I, that within a week, within 5 days, we were able to visit and pray and met the needs of over 500 families. Just my team alone. My team had about 23 persons. There was another team that I organized in another district area that also was able to meet about another 500. Within a week, I would say, within about 5 days, we were able to minister to over 1,000 families. Not one person, 1,000 families, finding out their needs, meeting their needs, praying with them, finding out what their needs are, and ministering to them. And we did that for 2 months. 2 months. Straight. We did that for 2 months. And thousands of families we were able to touch and reach before the crusade began for 10 days.
Before the crusade.
Before the crusade began for 10 days. And so it was phenomenal.
So you were already setting the stage even before the crusade started.
Even before the crusade started. Even before the foreign teams came in.